this. So hello everyone, this is David from the package team, and this is our peer programming on GraphQL. And today I'm going to share my screen. That would be helpful. This one. So today we are going to port this API right here to GraphQL. So this API will...
Can you increase the font size a little bit?
Yeah, I can.
Command plus.
Yeah. I don't have all the shortcuts in my head. More?
One more.
Does that look?
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So we are going to port a mutation, well, a destructive action to GraphQL, which is destroy a selection of tags of a container repository. So it's this action. Actually, we have two of them. We can destroy the tag one by one or destroy them in bulk. But I think on the GraphQL API, we are just going to implement the bulk destroy. And then it's a matter for the front end to just send one tag.
I think we will manage.
The only thing to notice here is that we do have a limit. So we can't send hundreds of tags to delete and that's it. We have this thing to do. And the rest is pretty much standard. We do have a service and we have to reply back. I guess we will reply the tag names. I'm not sure, we will see. So since this is a destructive action, it's not a GraphQL query, it's a mutation. So it will go in the mutation type of GraphQL. We already have the destroy action on the container repository itself. So we will just add a new one. What about using this namespace? That could work. Or we could go like this and tags destroy, but I'm not sure. It seems that usually the last, the class name is the action verb, but well, there are also actions on objects. Yeah, I think this one makes more sense to keep everything in the container repositories namespace. So for that, we will need a file similar to this one, which is here. And so let's add a new one. Actually, might be better to call this destroy tags and not tags destroy. Okay. Since I'm lazy, we are going to copy this whole thing. So destroy tags, destroy container repository tags, that's the name. Authorize, I think it's the same permission for the destroy container image and tag. And actually, we already have a tag policy, oops, here, which delegates to the repository. And then we do have a container repository full AC, which delegates to the project. So in the end, the actual resolution of this user permission is done at the project level. So that's okay. We are going to accept a global ID, which is a container repository. That's okay. And the other argument is the tag names. So we will just reuse the same name so that the front end knows that it's the same. No, I'm joking. We will need an array of string. It's required. And oops. Tag names. No.
So to be clear, this is completely independent from project and group and blah blah blah. It just requires the ID of the repository, right? The container repository.
Yeah, exactly. The mutation type we see here is like the root level of the mutations, and we are just adding a new one. It's not organized by project, group, or whatever.
Perfect.
It's like a giant bag of functions if you want.
Yeah, that's perfect because so we can support project and group level without
yeah, exactly.
issues.
It's not the same at the query, query type.
The only one is the list, right? The listing is for project and group is nested there.
Yeah, but this has been solved by modifying the project type, which is the type returned by the query on the project. And here we have the container repositories here. And we do have the exact same declaration on the group type, hopefully, yes. And the nice thing about it is that it's using the same resolver. So the fact that all the logic that deals with, I have this this object and I need to go to the container repositories, it's all managed in the same object, which is the resolver, which is here.
Since we are looking at this, is the size of the pagination that we return to the API return the same limit that we will enforce in the bulk delete? Because that will make a lot of sense, right? So you can't delete more than one page size.
Yeah, that's the limit we saw in the controller.
Yes. So now in the controller is set that the pagination and the delete are the same, right? So if you're in the UI, you can't click more tag that you can't delete. So the user will never face this limit. Can we do we have the ability to do the same with GraphQL?
I am not sure we could do that. I know there is we can control the limit options. I did that for the tags that are not here because it's not the details. Container.
So it's the same basically, right?
Yeah, it's an extension of the basic type because I don't want people to be able to list tags when they are querying the list of container repositories. Otherwise, we would generate a lot of network requests to the container registry.
Yeah, that's true.
And here we control the number of the maximum page size we can request.
So we should use the same limit for the delete endpoint because we are deleting tags, right? So the same that we return in the pagination should be the same that we are allowed to delete.
I see what you mean. Yeah, we can enforce the same limit. Okay. No, this, no, it's no here. What are we going to return? I don't know. I'm almost
you can return nothing.
Yeah. We could. Is it valuable to return the same tags that were deleted?
Do we delete sync? So the question is, if a tag didn't get deleted, could we see it in the return, or can we not see it in the return?
Yeah, for that we would need to check this service, and this is the, yeah, it's the complex one, because we do have two implementations depending on which container registry we are running.
We can start simple and don't return anything and then update it in the future.
Let me just check for GitLab. Well, if we are using the GitLab container repository registry, what we return. Yeah, I think we return the exact tags that have been deleted. So if one of them fails, it will not be part of the list.
Mm-hmm.
Might be valuable to return that. Yeah. Okay. And so the cool thing about GraphQL is that we can already check the schema. Whoop. So we reload the editor, and if everything goes well, so that's this request that will ask the backend, hey, give me the whole schema for the whole GraphQL API. So it didn't work. What's the issue? I didn't modify this. Can't load query type. Sure. So I guess my GDK was running for too long. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Well, that's the... Yeah, I should have restarted GDK before the session. Let me just take the logs. Oop.
Fast and Furious GDK as usual.
That's the waiting music.
This is the second pair programming session today, and in both there have been at least 5 minutes staring at GDK restarting.
Yeah, well, it is on my side. I should have restarted it before the session. Oh wait, no, there is something wrong with our schema because it keeps looping. So the thing with the GraphQL schema is that it will load everything at boot time, or well, more or less. So if you have the tiny error within the types, the schema, or whatever, the boot will just fail and retry, fail and retry. And to debug that, you just try to start a Rails console. And of course it will work. No, I'm joking. Unknown keyword, of course. Yeah, because the return value can be required. Well, at least we are in the fail fast situation where if you have the tiny error within your types, you will know about it for sure. Ah, yeah, right. It's a return value, so we have to, actually, we have all the, yeah, all the fields here. We have to describe if we allow to return null, not, but since we will always have at least an empty array, we can just set null to false. The third time is the good one, right? Usually.
Yeah, what is it saying? The third is the charm, something like that.
Yeah. Woohoo! Well, no, prefer to do that. This time around, it shouldn't loop on booting. Yeah, it's already loading the page. Yay! So we can inspect the mutation, and it was container repository tags. Okay. The input is this one, so the ID and the tag names. Both are required. So you can see that we don't allow an empty array. That's the bang symbol. And we don't allow having the array set to nil or a null object. So that's for free in GraphQL if you want. And this is an argument auto-generated and used by, I think it's the library on the front end by Apollo, if I'm not wrong.
Yep.
That's the input, and the output is this one. So again, this is auto-generated, and this one too, we expect to have errors in errors field, and then you can just describe your return fields. And here we only have tag names. This one might be wrong since we could return an empty array, but well, okay, let's keep that to a side. So here, to implement the actual action, so it's always the resolve function. The resolve function will accept the same number of arguments as declared above as keyword arguments. So we do have an ID and we do have a tag names. With the ID, we can retrieve the container repository, and for that we are going to reuse what we did for the destroy container repository mutation. So we need to declare.
Does it make sense to dry that up, especially because it's a workaround that we need to remove?
Yeah, we will be able to just create a base class and have this private function. But let's say that in the first iteration, I like to lay out everything. And once it works, yeah, this will be, I think, in a common class for both mutations. Well, a parent class. And this find object method is used by the authorized find. So we are just going to use everything. And this authorized find will check the permission for you and use the type that will be coming in the global ID. So it will check for the container repository, look for a container repository by its ID. So that's okay. So here we should, perhaps before fetching anything from the database, check the tag names size. For the beginning, let's just implement that as a dump check. So always freeze your objects, global constants. Otherwise, bad things could happen. No, that's a joke.
They can be mutated, right? That's the issue.
No, I don't think so, because it's a global constant. You should get a warning or something from Ruby. But if there are multiple constants referencing the same value, if it's not frozen, I think it's duplicated in memory. So yeah, we are going to just reuse the same check. It was 20, that's okay, we can return that. So this function has to return a hash with two fields. Well, not two. One is errors, and then the other fields are the fields you declare here. So we have one field, tag names. So we need to return errors, and we need to return tag names. And that's where I might return an empty array. So I think GraphQL will not be happy with about that. And here, I'm not sure if we can just return the string directly. What do we have?
You can check the expiration policy, that those returns are if there's a mistake.
No, it's
GraphQL
not.
implementation.
Yeah, it's not the same, because those errors were from the model. Model validations or validators. So Yeah, let's start with a simple string here.
Speaker then.
Yeah. I don't think we need to translate the message, the error message from the API. So we can try that. Okay. That's
the name of the mutation is it's.
Yeah, but I wanted the ID, but I think I just destroyed it, so it's not the correct one. Yeah, let me check if I have some repositories to play with. Ah, yeah, I know. Whoops. I know what is happening. I don't have the registry running. Whoops. That's bad. So right here, no, here. What? Registry. True. That's it.
And another start goes in.
Yeah. No, I don't. No, before we need to reconfigure. By the way, there is an MR that will skip this step when you GDK update, because this is taking too much time regenerating all the translation files.
Which we do on pipeline, so I don't understand why, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm not sure why it has this step, because when you add a new translation, you need to run. Yeah, you need to run it to run the generation again. So why is that to be done? Why it has to be done on the reconfigure and update commands? I don't know.
I'm not even sure it's the same step, because it's much faster here than when you do it by hand. When you run bean rake get text regenerate, yeah, that takes 5 minutes. So, oh.
Mysteries of GDK. Okay, now we have registry running. Yeah, the background jobs just keep fading. Okay, that's the one with from my cleanup policies trials, but well, we can use them. So let's take this one. And now it's a mutation. We said that it's destroy container repository tags. We need the input. So we do have the ID. Yeah.
You need the tag names now.
Yeah, it's there, but I'm going to send more than 20 on purpose. Three, four, five, six.
Bless you.
Thanks. And we are going to...
Isn't the quote correct? Aren't those all double quotes?
No, it isn't. I think errors can be just dumps like this, and then the tag names. Yeah, it's double quote everywhere. Yay.
Sorry, I chose the wrong moment to realize.
No, that's okay. That's my habit of saving everything.
Common has.
Yeah, exactly. So let's try. I think GraphQL will complain that tag names is an empty array. Really? That's great to know. So the resource, this one. Okay.
Question, how are we returning from inside the if block? This is a Ruby knob question, right?
Yeah, we should return.
Okay.
We need to return. Still, we will hit this issue with a correct tag names argument. What about now? Ah, yes, it's reloading everything. Yeah. I know, it was happy. Okay. So I thought that this bang right after the string meant that we need one element in the array, but actually I think it means that we can't have nil objects in the array. Usually the bang sign is the object can't be a nil one. So the nil element, the elements of the array can't be nil, and the array itself can't be nil. That's why we have two bang symbols. So the check is working properly. Let's try with a proper one, since I think this, it will say something, blah, blah, blah. Okay. But that might be because we are not returning anything here. So let's try to add the service call, which is right here. I'll take the track package thing too, and I think I have yeah, I created a concern for that, which is already there, so that's cool. The only thing is that we are not in the same. I think this might be wrong because it might be using the class name of the mutation. I'm not sure, but I will check that. Okay, so that's the result. And usually here we can just return the same thing. So errors and tag names. So errors are in the it's a result. Okay, let's have a look. Boom, boom, boom. I think it's a message. It's in the message. No, yeah, it's this, but it's the concern. I'm looking for the error. Yeah, this one. So it's in the message that we might have an error message. So we can just result. Oops. Message. I don't know why I write error. Okay. And this is a custom. The custom key. Deleted tags count. No, that's the log. Delete here. So let's implement. It's in the deleted. Yeah, it's in the deleted key. Destroy tags. Result. Deleted.
Don't you need to change? Yeah.
Yeah, Rubocop is doing that for us.
A question, why are we still going through the project namespace?
It's not the proper thing. We need to container repository and image here. You mean for the service?
Yeah, because that's where it's located, the file physically.
Well, we are reusing the same service, so I will not change it. Why do we need the project? I think the delete tag service is used in other calls, not only the API or the, well, not only the UI in this case. We also have the API using it, and we do have some permission checks.
Okay.
So perfect. They will run twice. That's not good or optimal, I guess, but I still want to use this service because it has the logic of branching to the actual implementation depending on the container registry type.
What will run twice?
Because the destroy tags has already deauthorized. And we have the, where it is, the authorized find that will check this for us. It will check the tag policy, which in turn will check the container repository policy, which in turn will check the project policy, and which will end up doing the same thing as this.
Right. Yeah, and I remember, I think, yeah, because that one is there specifically for the expiration policies. Or no, that bypasses.
No, because the container expiration policy doesn't have the user.
Yeah, that was what was preventing the expiration policies from working.
Exactly. Yeah.
For months.
Hey, but now it's fixed. So let's try again.
I wanted to make sure we didn't break it again. Don't mess with that line.
But are those tag names real?
No, but you can send some wrong tag names. It doesn't matter. It will end up in a 404 request for the container registry, and that will be interpreted as a successful delete.
Of course. Correct. But we have another error, I guess.
Yeah, that there is something.
Is the authorize failing on us?
I'm not sure. Tururum. Why? This works. This doesn't work.
Are the type the same? Do you have the delegate as you have that you were describing now? The delegate for the tags to delegate the authorize up?
Yes. Yes, we do that. But this authorize will actually be used on the authorize find. We can check the definition, but it will try to fetch this object and check if the current user has this permission. So it will check if we have this permission on the container repository, not the tag. Let's see. Boom, boop, boom. You see, fine. That's our function, which is here, the find object. So we are going to just load the container repository using the global ID. And then there is the authorize, which is just right here. Then authorize the resource. And here we should have the required permissions, which is the array of permissions that is populated by the authorize call here. But we can verify that, and then it's the standard ability allowed if the current user has the ability on the object we found. So what we can do is just verify this. If it's properly filled.
Did we by any chance deleted that? I remember that we had the same issue already.
Yeah, we tried to delete twice a container repository.
Does it appear in the list?
But here we still have it.
47, okay.
So it's strange that we don't have access. Okay, so here we need the class name. Destroy tags. And it's the required permissions. Of course. Okay.
So it's correct. Yes, right?
Yeah, and the thing that is running here, it's ability allowed. It's the first user. Then the ability is the same one as this one. And the object is the container repository fine. 47?
Yeah.
It's the end of the day, so my memory is not working properly. And of course, we are allowed.
So we have a problem before that.
I'm wondering what's happening.
By the way, it says resource not available, right?
Yeah, it's this error, which is raised by this call. So this is the low-level debug. We will dump the current user, the ability.
That hashtag times 90 is gonna print 90 hashtag on the screen, on the log?
Exactly. I don't want to put a breakpoint with pry, binding.pry, because if you block the web request for too long, you can have some timeouts and you will lose the request, and then it's like you have the console attached to nothing. So it will not work properly.
You can use binding.pry when in running code.
Yeah, you can, but if you try to get the console, the web request has some limits. I'm not sure if it is the 61 or not.
This is like a side note, but like where do you access the console if you through a binding.pry in? How would you access the console?
You need to stop Rails and start the team client, the GDK, and started that in foreground, and then you can access that. Correct?
Actually, I never used the breakpoint in running code, so I don't know. It should be possible.
Oh, you did? So you run Fin? Okay.
So you need to stop Rails web, start team in foreground, and then you will get the console there whenever you hit your breakpoint.
Interesting. Yeah, I've only ever used it in tests. And then I use Rails logger when I'm I do exactly what you're doing.
Okay.
I was like, whoa, I didn't know you could even do that.
So it seems that the user is empty.
Oh, so you're not logged in. That's the whole issue.
Yeah.
The cookie. Give my cookie.
So now my question is why I can get the list.
Because that's a public repo, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I think so.
Yeah, it's probably an authorized non-git.
Why I'm out of this, I don't know. This, I think I have it in.
Whoa, master password time.
Oh no. Wow.
Package team forever.
Ever. It's too short. It's too short.
But actually it's the default. What is the default password?
If you do GDK help, it'll come up.
Really?
I never remember it.
That's it. Remember, please. Thank you. No. Way to waste time.
Ailey, how does this compare?
Setting to remember your root password is very bold.
Refresh the GraphQL page. Yeah.
Sorry, Nika, you're gonna say something.
No, I wanted to ask you how does this Ruby programming compares to Go?
What was that?
To be totally honest, I have had to do a lot of stuff, and I haven't been paying attention.
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, I've got my quota of pings for the week during this meeting, so
This was just the right amount of background to keep you focused.
Yeah.
yeah.
Background
This
noise.
is like the
We are
coding
noise.
version of a fireplace. So just look over, see warm, crackling data structures. Calms me down.
And now the magic happens.
No, it's just reloading the schema. It may still fail.
No, I'm confident
Where's
this
the
time.
optimism? It'll
Woo!
Oh, the errors. You need to return an array, huh?
Cannot return no, of course, because if it is, we don't have any message, we just return the empty array.
It's a message, but isn't that message a string?
Oh, yeah. But since we don't have an error,
Yeah, but
it will not happen. Hey, you see, you can delete
that is not there.
ghost tags. It's okay. Okay, so this works.
It's the famous dry run.
Yeah. So now the last test for this is, of course, real tags. Again? No. Because it's this thing. So what we should do is this, and then we just compact everything.
Compact removed empty stuff inside the array.
It removes the nil elements from the array. Okay, so let's not this one, yeah, because I need to see the tags.
Instead of edge and nodes, you can use nodes directly.
Okay. Which one? This one? Let's try to delete this one. Oh, that's the...
Is there like a reference cheat sheet somewhere to remind like edges, node, all of those things? Like I always forget what you need and how they're supposed to be written.
Yeah, just just nodes in that case. Forget about edge and node.
There is the when you write a query, there is the auto completion.
Oh.
So I guess here you have nodes.
Mm-hmm.
So we can directly do this.
Yes, correct.
Nice. One less thing to write.
Yeah, especially on the return as well. Yes, it got deleted. Yes.
Woo! Success. Okay. So
do you write test for this, by the way?
Yeah, of course. That's not a real question, right? Or...
No. I mean, ow. Not if.
Okay. we are not going to have time to write those, but I can show you on the destroy notation. So you don't need tests for types because they already exist. So there are already tests for those. What we are going to do, I think there are two kinds of tests. Yeah, repositories destroy spec. Thanks for nothing. There is this one, which is actually it's just the mutation. So you are just going to call the resolve function directly. So like any public method on the class, you have some helpers to to help you with authorizations or arguments. Usually here, what I like to do is this thing. So when you have an authorization or a permission check, is to check all the user roles and check that you have the expected outcome. But we should have, no, I am sure it's here, but we do have the request spec. I just need to find it. Repositories destroy. Spec requests. No one. Okay. Request. Where it is?
Maybe it's repository, set of repositories.
It should be somewhere here.
Nope.
Yes, it's in the mutations. Ha. Destroy spec. Perhaps it should be repositories here. Yeah, it should be plural.
Especially because it's multi-delete, right?
No, actually, it's a single one since you passed a single ID. But I think we just used what we saw here. You see the namespace before the action.
Yes, yeah.
It's usually the plural form. And in this test, you are going to send an actual GraphQL request. So you need to build it. You have some helpers to do that. And it's actually really similar to what we are doing here with the editor. So sending the request. And one thing I've been doing is, I don't know, the other requests, they don't check the response structure. And so on the REST API for checking the response structure, the JSON structure, we used a JSON schema to check that. So I thought, yeah, we can do the same here. And yes, indeed, we can do the same. So in this JSON, yeah, this one, you do have the structure of the response. It's not the whole response. You remember we have the errors and then you have your fields.
It's just the inside.
Yeah, here it's just the structure of the custom field if you want. But still, it's another check that all the required fields are there and they have the expected types and things like that. So it's another thing to do. And well, it's a bit duplication, but I run again all the tests with the different roles of the user just to make sure that we do have the proper response. So I will be doing the same thing for the destroy tags thing. Exactly the same.
Thanks.
And that's about it.
Yeah, I also need to drop off. Well, thank you everyone. And thank you, David, for driving this.
No problem.
Yeah, that was great.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.